Hi, my name is John Bruyn. I'm one of the plant doctors here at Moana Nursery, and we're here to talk about frost protection. As many of you have experienced from last year, we have severe late frost. In fact, I moved here 40 years ago in 1984, and I have only experienced one spring in which we did not have a killing frost in that time frame. So we have to be prepared, and March is a great time to buy and be prepared. So we have, first of all, the classic insulated plant protector, which is based off of an invention that was back in the 80s. It really works. The sun warms the water in the tubes and radiates during the nighttime that warmth to the plant and protects it to quite low temperatures. I've heard as much as 10 degrees below freezing. So it's very effective, and it was developed mostly for tomatoes, but it can be used for any crop that has a need for frost protection. So you can put them over your zucchinis, your cucumbers, all your summer crops that are going to be vulnerable to frost damage. It's very simple. I use a bucket to use as a framework and set this tube around, and then with a watering can I just fill up all the cylinders. I do recommend that you might consider some bamboo stakes if you're in a high wind area. You know, we get strong winds also in the spring, and it can tip over in those winds. So putting a couple bamboo stakes on it to safeguard. I've had issues at my house where the dogs seem to like the water, and they crushed the side of it, and of course it then collapsed onto my tomatoes. So bamboo was how I discovered the usefulness of that. And they're really good for preserving your early plantings. So, and then we also have frost blankets, which are synthetic fabrics that you put over your row crops or your plants that might be even bigger. So last May, back when I think it was 24 degrees, that killed a lot of tomatoes, this was what could be used to protect those plants. The advantages over these other materials: this will breathe, it is transparent to light, and it also sheds water. So if it rains and you're using a cotton sheet, you've just lost all your ability to contain the heat. And the way these work is they go over the crop, and it's best if they're not touching, but it doesn't, you know, you're talking about survival at that point. It traps the rising heat off the ground. So I'd like to suggest to people 4 o'clock in the afternoon would be the latest I would cover. That will trap the most amount of heat and preserve it. And these give 5 degrees protection. So if they're forecasting 27, this is good protection, but they can, depending on how the cold comes to us, they can work at even lower temperatures. The other big benefit to these, and as many of you have already started growing your seeds, you have that little issue when you take them out of your house or your greenhouse or other events, other location, grow lights, and you take them out and expose them to that really strong Nevada sun. A lot of people come in with bleached leaves or leaf scorch on their vegetables that they just set out. That is from not being hardened off. These can really help you harden off a plant just in the spring, and you just put them out, plant them, cover them with this, and it will be as a sunscreen to them and allow them to get used to the night cold in addition to the intensity of sun, and then eventually you just lift them off and you got a hardened off plant without having to drag them in and out of the house every sequence of hours and so forth. So there's some good frost protections. We have this in bundles of rolls of this, and then we have packages like this, which is 10 by 12. So the big or small garden, it's very effective. It's long lasting, doesn't rot, insects don't eat it. And I might also add, in some parts of the country, and there's a few issues with cutworms in this area, they can provide a natural deterrent, a barrier for cutworms on your garden. So Moana Nursery can help you protect your investment in your crops and your future food source.